Coming up in episode 10, I'm going to talk to you about the importance of the mental side of the game and an interesting way to break it down into 3 different levels. And most importantly, how you can utilize this to enhance your game. It's time to attack.
Welcome to the Grit Hoops Podcast, powered by Grit Basketball, where passion meets performance. This is the show for players, coaches, and parents who are committed to real development, elite skills, and the mindset it takes to win. We break down the game, cut through the myths, and give you the tools to maximize potential on and off the court. If you're ready to put in the work and take your game to the next level, let's get to it.
So we start out today's episode with a story. Talking to Coach Wade last night. Coach Wade, co-founder of Grit Basketball, and we were talking about the chess player. If you guys saw it, never lost a game, never lost a match, and he's a top chess player in the world. He just lost 2 days ago. And when that happened, they talked about the levels of the mental part within chess. And they said there were 3 levels. There's chess players that don't know if, for example, if any of us played a world caliber chess player, unless you're a world caliber chess player. If any of us played a world caliber chess player, we would not know what's going on. We'll be so behind, we'll be lost, right? So level 1 of awareness in that situation would be if the player does not know what's even occurring, and they're just going to beat them very quickly. They talked about level 2, which would be a player has some awareness, but they can react to situations. And then a level 3 is so forth. So when talking about this story, which Coach Wade, we realized how much this pertained to the players that we trained over the years and how this correlates so effectively to how you can view yourself and how you can impact a game and how good you are at a game. So getting into it, this episode on levels of awareness that we want to really dive into as, say, part of something we're going to start teaching, but levels of awareness for a player when they're on the court, off the court. This pertains to anything you do in life. So to start off, when pertaining to levels of awareness, when it comes to, let's say, basketball or any sport you play, but when it comes to basketball, level 1 would be a player that does not understand the game at a high level, doesn't understand things like spacing, movement principles. Their movement patterns might be off. They don't understand the intricacies of the game. They're just playing. We strongly believe players, there's hundreds, thousands of players in this situation that are playing in tournaments, playing in games, and we truly believe players at that level 1 should not be playing. They should be training, they should be learning the intricacies of the game, they should be learning the strategies of the game, and constantly developing, most importantly, the skills of the game. So level 1 players should not be playing, as we stated again. The big mistake most people make is they sign their kids up, right, when they see they may have some interest in sports or interest in basketball. They sign them up for the local rec. They practice once or twice a week, and then they play in tournaments. Or they sign them up for local travel, and then they play, and their practices are more geared towards team play, and then they just play. We truly believe that's backwards approach when it comes to development with basketball. So level 1, where a player does not have the fine-tuned skills of the game, and they don't have the understanding of the game, they should not be playing the game. So we recommend players in that level. You have to be smart enough, parents, players, and even coaches, you have to be smart enough to realize if you're within that level, we recommend you should not be playing. Focus 100% of your time on development, training, and understanding the game. Level 2 are players that know what's going on, but they can only react to current situations and stimuli. So they're reactionary players. Okay, depend based on the level. So when something happens, maybe the right situation, they can score. They can rebound if the ball comes to them, or they could react to different things. But they're really not manipulating things. They're not anticipating things. So they're in a very reactionary state. That is a level 2 of a player. In that case, a player should still not be playing heavily, right? But you may be training, developing, doing small-sided games, 3-on-3s, 4-on-4s, still learning the game, but in a modified, smaller game scenario. At Grit, we strongly believe in doing 2-on-2s, 1-on-1s, 3-on-3s on a regular basis to help teach kids the game. Percentage-wise, 80% of the time we are focused on development, and then we'll focus on implementing and utilizing the skills once the kids have acquired, we believe, a good foundational level of skills. So that's how we believe you should approach level 2. Before I get to level 3, a quick timeout for a quick word from Grit Basketball.
Basketball players and coaches, want to take your finishing to an elite level? The Grit Elite Finisher course is your fast track to mastering layups with both hands, finishing through contact, and making every shot count. This step-by-step program gives you lifetime access to high-level training and downloadable resources, helping you go from struggling at the rim to finishing with confidence in just weeks. Don't just take our word for it. Players like Diamond Miller of the Minnesota Lynx, Tucker Richardson playing pro in Europe, Olivia Miles from Notre Dame, Jalen Blakes played at Duke and Stanford, and Michaela Blakes at Vanderbilt. They have all sharpened their skills through elite training like this. For just $2.99, you get everything you need to elevate your game. Ready to finish strong? Sign up for the Grit Elite Finisher course today at gritbasketball.com. That's gritbasketball.com.
So now we're on level 3 of the awareness scale, right? If we want to really say levels of awareness. If your son or daughter, if you're a player and you have several players, you're at this level, that's very good. This level is obviously correlated based on the level that you're playing on. You might be level 3 when you're playing with certain kids or a certain level, but then when you move up, you might not be level 3. But that being said, a level 3 player is a person or player that knows what's going on and can predict and or manipulate the outcomes. So a level 3 player is a player that can utilize moves to beat a defender, and they anticipate and see and predict, help defenders. They see things before they happen. There's obviously many levels within level 3, right? For example, all NBA players or WNBA players are very high level thinkers when they think the game. But level 3 within, they're all level 3, but level 3 level within that might be, let's say, a joker or a MVP of the league. They might be a notch above all those other level 3s. So there are levels within it. And that applies to all levels. If you have the ability to predict, manipulate outcomes within the game, you are at a very good point. A player within this level, they should be still focusing heavily on skills. For example, Steph Curry and all NBA players do skill training on a regular basis. Their off seasons pertain heavily on skill development, but you do have to incorporate a good amount of live play, unpredictability, gameplay, still incorporating small-sided games, 2-on-2, 3-on-3s, and always still learning little strategies and nuances within the game to give you advantages. So that being said, level 3 is something most of you are all striving for. Are there college players that are not in level 3? There probably are. There's some big guys, probably mostly, or big girls that may not have the adequate skill and they can't manipulate the game in certain ways offensively, but maybe they're really good at blocking shots. They can really bait someone to come in, and they can predict shot blocking ability or rebounding ability. So you can be a higher level within different areas of the game, but you can be a college player, a high school player, a youth player that's not in level 3. So at this point, it requires you to be honest with yourself and try to develop your skills to the level where you can predict, anticipate, and manipulate outcomes throughout the entirety of a game. Now, when we mention this ties in a bit with the grit grid. The grit grid, as I talked about in episode 7, is a grid that we use to chart a player's productivity on the court. It checks or it charts a player's attack rate, which is how much they attack with every touch on the ball, how much they attack when a shot goes up, if they crash the boards offensively and or defensively, how they attack in transition, whether it's sprinting the floor. It's not about outcomes. All right? Once again, I say it's not about outcomes. It's about the effort and the mindset to continuously attack the defense. So that is what the grit grid is based on. And we believe if you continuously attack and you continuously work on your development, you're going to put yourself in a really good position to be a high-level player. So since this ties in with the grit grid, as a listener of the podcast, if you email podcast@gritbasketball.com and you ask for the grit grid, we will send you the grit grid. You can also, even better, ask for a 30-minute free consultation, and we will break down game film with you. And we give you an idea of how aggressive you are in a game, where you can be more aggressive, and what level of assertiveness you fall on. The grit grid, we believe, can be huge because it can be an eye-opener for each and every player. And coaches, you can use it to assess your players in a little different way, especially if you realize your players might be a little too timid, or maybe an offense that you showed them is for some reason making them passive, which I've accidentally done when I was a head coach. I made players passive from teaching pass and cut. And we were just passing and cutting and no one was looking at the hoop. So if you realize, you accidentally got kids to be too passive and they're not attacking and they're not being aggressive, you can shift this by utilizing the grit grid because it's all based on assertiveness and being aggressive. So we look forward to hearing from you about this topic. I would love to hear your thoughts, your opinions. Do you agree with the 3 levels of awareness? And just to sum it up, in a short paragraph, this is a breakdown of the 3 levels. There are individuals who are completely unaware of the current events and their potential future consequences. Others are aware of situations but can only react to the present circumstances and stimuli. Finally, level 3, there are those who are aware of the situations and can predict and manipulate the outcomes. What level are you striving to be? Keep working and attack first.
That's a wrap for this episode of the Grit Hoops Podcast. If you found value in today's conversation, be sure to subscribe or follow so you never miss an episode. Got questions or topics you want us to cover? Hit us up at gritbasketball.com/podcast or connect with us on social media. And remember, greatness isn't given, it's earned. Keep putting in the work, attack first, and we'll see you next time.